Hello and welcome to Lost Gotham TV. In this episode, we are going to be reviewing the Richard Laymon book, Flesh. Okay, so this book, like a couple of the other books early in Richard Laymon's career, something like The Cellar. You know, The Cellar, obviously, first book, very instrumental in getting him out there. Flesh, not one of my favorites. It's definitely down there on the list, but having reread it recently, it has a lot of good stuff going on. But Flesh was actually an award winner, I believe, if my memory is horrible, but I believe that it won at least one big award, and so its popularity definitely helped continue Richard's career. So it definitely, is something that should be considered. But I mean, it's not the highest on my list. Looking at other people's reviews, not the highest either. It is a kind of a creature book. So similar, in the same way that Cellar is a creature book. There is a creature element to this. I don't think I'm giving away too much. I don't remember what it says on the back. But basically, Flesh, the main driver of the story, is that there is some kind of parasite. I don't think it ever really explains where it comes from. I don't remember it, saying that. But, it's not necessarily dissimilar. I'm trying to think of some other things that you might compare it to. Almost like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing, where a creature burrows into people and doesn't necessarily change them, doesn't take them over as a different person or a different personality. We're not dealing with doppelgangers or body doubles or poddy people. Where basically what the parasite does is get inside you and unlock your inhibitions. You have no desire to want to stop what you're doing. You just want to do whatever your heart desires. And so obviously for the people in Richard Laymon's world, that means doing some pretty horrible things. So yeah, it is interesting. It definitely has good elements. It's not a bad book, but it's not one of his better books for me. It definitely ranks in the bottom half of things. Yeah. So it is worth reading. There's some cool, fun, gross out things that happen. If you don't, if you're really uncomfortable with the idea of having some kind of parasite, worm, leech, creature, weird thing, if you've got something about things burrowing into your skin and being a parasite within, feeding off of your flesh, this is not the book for you. Several of the covers, as you see, you'll see at the slideshow at the end, they have this recurring theme of this hand with a missing finger. I don't specifically remember something like that happening in the book. And it's, I don't know, strikes me as a little weird that it's something that was held over into several different designs around the world for different publications and republications of this book. But yeah, it's an interesting read. It has some fun things that happen, some fun deaths and situations. Definitely some Layman-esque characters in here. You're reading a Laymon book most of the time. So I do recommend it, but it's not a strong recommendation. Definitely read it, but don't maybe don't try to read it while you're eating, or if you have any kind of like body phobia about parasites or things, then it's definitely not for you. Okay, I think that's about it. I don't really want to say anything else about the book. Uh, yeah, it's a fun read. But it's up to you if you want to read it or not. Um, I will let you go, but I will see you next time.